for everyone listening, this is episode 10 of British Business with Matt Holland and my co-host Tom McIlvenny.
Nailed it again.
We're
getting better.
We're getting good.
Oh, am I not too close?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is Morgan.
Fine,
you can see Morgan now on the camera.
at that.
Say hello, there we are. Yeah. Told you he looks like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Sorry, Morgan.
What are you saying? I am Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh no, he is. Yeah.
You.
Were you the stunt double? Is that your background?
That's why I'm so battered.
Yeah. That's funny. Sorry, I can't. It's so mean to like rip on people like that. I just can't.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
It's okay, you look like
I mean,
Hagrid.
Harry Potter's...
I mean, yeah, he's a baller now.
Many people love Harry Potter, don't they?
Absolutely. What's he doing now? That actor.
I'm not sure, I was never one that really watched many of the Harry Potters. I obviously know who he is, but...
Yeah, he's been in a few films after it, hasn't he? What's his actual name, Morgan? Do you know
Daniel Radcliffe.
That's it, Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's the difference. Is if I get Daniel Radcliffe, I'm like, If I get Harry Potter, I'm like, well, am I a 10-year-old child?
It's interesting because as he matured, he's quite a handsome chap now, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
So it's a compliment, Morgan.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Thank you.
There we are. So, like I said, episode 10, we're doing marketing, brand, and cutting through the noise.
Yeah, good.
That is the title that ChatGPT has thrown out as
like
a suggestion.
that. I like it.
And then me and ChatGPT have had some comms and we've discussed different bits.
Gave it a few prompts.
So yeah, no. I mean, how's your week been? All right.
Oh, well, if I'm honest, it's been awful.
Has it?
Absolutely awful. Last 2 weeks, probably. Awful.
Yeah. No. I think trade's a bit flat for us as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, we can't have growth all the time. And
No.
our businesses, they go up and down. We've had some really tremendous months.
Yeah,
the last 12 months.
I've seen when you...
Yeah, I think March is a bit flatter for us.
Yeah.
Advertising cost is higher than we would like. I'm sure other businesses... I mean, there's loads of positive things going on in the businesses, but I think our audience, obviously we've got Rachel here, so we've got to be careful what we say.
Yeah. Be careful.
Unofficially sponsored by HMRC. Unofficially.
Unofficially, yeah. Stress that point before you get shut down.
Yeah. No, I think it is hard out there at the moment.
Yeah.
I think, interestingly, who was it I was speaking to? It was Charlie from Workwear Innovation, actually. He's doing really well in March, actually.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah,
well done, mate.
Bucking the trend.
Good lad.
And James from Nutriseed, he's up year on year.
Is he? What, in March as well?
In March,
right,
yeah. So I think it comes down to what you're doing in your business.
Yeah.
Are you doing enough? Do you know what I mean? When you're looking, and it comes back to on episode, not last episode, which was the Snuggaroo story, the previous episode, where, it was episode 5 I'm thinking of that's just come out, because we're obviously filming. We're kind of getting ahead of the episodes. But episode 5, we touch on, what was it? I've just lost my train of thought. What were we saying then?
How difficult it's been for us, and we're not doing well.
Yeah,
depends what we're doing in your business, doesn't it?
In episode 5, there's a reel that Morgan has snippeted, and I think I'm feeling a bit fiery when I get into it, and I'm it was the people episode, and it was about the leadership of entrepreneurs, how important it is for them to own their failures.
Yeah,
and if business is a bit flat, and it's flat in your business, if you're listening or whatever, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. For us, I know there's reasons why this month is a bit flatter for us. We're very linked to the weather. We've had a very dry March.
Yeah, compared to last March.
We've had some unseasonably warm weather, which really impacts our business. So that's very logical. But we're doing well. We're really profitable still and everything. But it's interesting how conditions impacted, but then you've got to link it back to yourself as the entrepreneur. What am I doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have we pivoted our marketing over? Have we done this? Have we done that?
Yeah. Are we doing enough?
Yeah, you're doing enough. And I think that is what separates a good entrepreneur to a great entrepreneur, possibly an exceptional one.
Yes.
Someone who is willing to critique themselves aggressively. I think it's something you've got to have, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of questions I'm just going to touch on. We've had a few people message the podcast on the different channels, so I'm just going to pull it up. So this is we're just going to rattle through. Before we do it, actually, if you're watching this, please can you like, comment and subscribe on YouTube as the platform, and if you're on Spotify or the whatever podcast platform you're on, if you can do the same, so follow on Spotify, comment, just really helps boost the algorithm. So if you can do that for us, we'd really appreciate it.
Yes, please.
So this is a question from Raise the Bar Hospitality.
Oh, good.
So a little
I like that.
free plug there. Shout out. And if you want us to shout out your business name on the podcast and get some free advertising, then ask a question in the comments, guys. Come on.
Only way to do it.
And this episode is about marketing.
Yeah, well, this is it.
So, I mean, we're sat here marketing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like my personal brand, and obviously you're on it as well, and like it's a promotion of our businesses.
Yeah.
But if you want free promo on this, you need to ask some questions. So Lucy from Raise the Bar Hospitality, she's a hospitality consultant, friend of the podcast. She's asked the question, and this is there's two that I really like.
Yeah.
She's asked three. What is a strong belief that you once had about business that you have now changed your mind on, and why?
Deep question as well.
That is a deep one. We might have to come back to that. But so, what has been the hardest lesson? Sorry, no, that's the second question. What is a strong belief that you once had about business that you have now changed your mind on, and why? I can think of something for yourself and I.
Yeah.
But so cash.
Oh yeah.
So like I used to think, and this is actually like me and Mark in the early days. We used to think that like, your cash, why would you have your cash in the bank?
Yeah, it's like a waste of money.
Yeah, why would we sit on cash in the bank?
Yeah, get it in stock.
We're better, need it in stock.
That'll sell to make profit.
Sell it, make profit.
Yeah.
Cash is king.
100% cash is king.
Cash is king. So that's the biggest thing, like for me, like adapting my mind to going, no, actually, I'd rather have money in the bank in business.
Yeah, I think you're right. Have a little bit of a slower growth curve.
Yeah.
Because you could chuck all that cash into stock to fuel the sales, try new products, but actually, like, let's just take it steady, accept slow rate of growth, but sustainable and comfortable. Because I know we've been there. I'm sure you've had the same experience when cash flow gets challenging and cash in the bank is low, and you know you've got commitments to meet. Coming ahead, it's not a nice place to be. You lose sleep, anxiety through the roof.
I think as well, it's like learning to be cautious.
Yeah.
But also willing to take risk. It's like managing that risk. Which
Find
is
the balance.
Finding that balance. That's a big thing, I would say. Having cash in the bank. I think that's a big one, to be fair. And then she's also asked a question about, I think this is great. If Hollands or Avenue 85 were to disappear tomorrow and you had to go out and get a job, what would you go and do? That is a great question.
It's a challenge.
When I saw that last night, it made me smile. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So for me, I think this is what would happen.
Yeah.
So like if the business just didn't exist tomorrow, like we sold it or it went bust or whatever happened, what would I go and do? I'd probably end up. I think I'd want to be outside more. Yeah. So like me, I just like being out. Obviously, I come from a farming family and all the rest of it. Maybe I'd like go off and learn to be like a dry stone waller.
Yeah.
Just something random
good
like
money
that.
in that. Yeah.
But then I suspect what would happen because of my brain.
Yeah, you get the itch to go, right, what?
I'd be like, oh, can I scale this?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do with this business? Or like, and then I'd be like, oh, this is hard work, probably. And then I think I would probably job hop a little bit.
Yeah.
But then like the flip side of that is my skill set. I'd probably go into like being a non-exec director. Like it depends on what pathway happens. If the business were to not succeed and we were to fail, I'd probably go off and do something completely different. If it was a success story and we sold it or something like that, then I enjoy business.
Yeah.
So
it's a passion, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd probably be some kind of consultant or something like that. I love speaking to people about their businesses.
Yeah, so I could see you in that role. I think you're right. Ultimately, I think it depends on what path the business took, whether it failed and it went.
Yeah.
I think options, then your confidence would be knocked because you think, oh my God, I failed, because the business is just an extension of you.
Yeah.
So I think, you would look for something, if it happened to me, I would look for something probably less stress to begin with, to find my feet and my confidence back again. I'd probably go and work somewhere in a business or an industry that I'm interested in, just to learn more, get more knowledge, and get paid for the process. Again, if we exited and we sold, confidence level would be high. I'd be thinking, right, and then I think you're more credible then to do the consulting that you're talking on there and going into other businesses, and maybe then you've got some capital behind you. You'd be angel investing in some businesses, taking stakes in them to look to grow those businesses.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
I think, interestingly, though, the answer to both of our answers there is we wouldn't get a job, really.
No,
because I am unemployable.
Yeah.
Could you imagine trying to manage me?
Yeah.
Awful. Absolute nightmare. All over the place. ADHD, left, right, and centre.
But that's probably your strength, isn't it? The fact that you've got that high activity in that mind of yours.
100%. So I think, we'd probably pivot into different business eventually. I think. Yeah. I am unemployable. I'd probably find a niche, maybe a smaller business, something a bit more hands-on. I don't know what it is, but I'd love to have like a hospitality style business. Something like maybe like a really like hip street coffee shop where this Swan Dry top would fit in.
Lovely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of like hipster vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know, like just like Northern Quarter. I'd like a coffee shop.
Yeah, you like coffee.
I like coffee.
Passionate about that.
And that's a lifestyle business, I think.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Although a very hard business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you're working lots of hours. I think I'd get a lot out of that.
Yeah.
But then I'd probably end up with 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Where you'll think, how can I scale it? How can I make it commercially?
Yeah, I just want to go again.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's a couple of really good questions from...
Raise the Bar.
Yeah, Raise the Bar Hospitality. So if you're in hospitality and you need some advice and guidance, reach out to Raise the Bar Hospitality on Instagram.
Definitely.
So there we are, a little plug.
Yeah.
There we are.
Plug for Lucy.
I've actually just had a WhatsApp message. From Daryl. We did a photo shoot on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but it'll be on my Instagram. I'll post this to Instagram. But it's a picture of me holding a hen.
Right.
Is that being picked up, Morgan?
If you hold it close to your face. Oh, there we go. Oh, I picked it up then. Just put it in front of your face.
In front of the face.
It won't focus on your eyes.
Is that...
Yeah. That's one of your many hens, is it?
Yeah, I've got chickens at the...
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I have eggs and stuff. I'll put that on my Instagram. So go to my Instagram if you want to see me holding a hen in one of our little photo shoots that we've done up at the farm. Anyway.
So Daryl did that for you? Is that for content marketing?
Yeah, Daryl. He's got another business. It's a friend of my sister's, actually, Daryl. Really good guy. He's just sent me a picture of me holding a hen, so... Sorry, that's my ADHD. Being able to
this?
Hop around like, should have my phone on airplane mode. Anyway, let's get into the podcast.
Yeah,
how long have we been running for now, Morgan, on this episode? Time check.
14 minutes currently that the audio's been recording, but probably more like 11 minutes.
It's interesting. That's something I'm finding difficult with these podcasts, like managing the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm hosting. I've got my show notes and I'm like trying to gauge how we're doing. I think length-wise, like that last episode was quite a long one because it was the story of Snuggaroo.
Yeah.
These ones, like we have a bit of a chitty chat and then go for any questions, remind people to subscribe.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment,
all that jazz. And then we get into the detail and we fast fire through it. But I think that the format works.
Yeah.
But we've got a new segment.
Okay, great. So, what's this new segment you'd like to
obviously we're covering
introduce?
Marketing and stuff like that. One of the things me and my mate ChatGPT have been chatting about is how we can introduce. And to be fair, I'm not including. Me and Morgan had a video call.
Oh yeah, good.
Like a bit of a recap on how the episodes have been going, and we kind of talked about different things we could insert into it. So we've now got an opening hook, which is surprising British business fact, and it's going to be in relation to the topic that we're covering.
Yeah.
So
hit me with this one.
Bit of a talking point, really.
Yeah.
So we're doing marketing, like brand and cutting through the noise. So did you know the first ever TV ad in the UK aired in 1955?
God.
So how many years ago was that?
Well, we're 2025 now, and it's like 70 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. So a while ago.
Yeah.
And it was for toothpaste.
Right. Of all the things it could have been, it was
oral
toothpaste.
hygiene.
Oh, yeah. Most important. Yeah. Way to start the day.
Which actually, when you think about it, those businesses, they have recurring revenue.
Yeah.
So they can afford to do that big marketing. Again, big gross profit margin, brand.
Yeah. Brand marketing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like a retailer or something. So interestingly, though, and I've never heard of these. So it was Gibbs SR was the first brand to run a TV ad when commercial television was launched on ITV. Gibbs SR.
For toothpaste. Gibbs, I've never heard of it in my life. No.
Morgan, have you got access to the internet over there?
I do indeed, yeah.
You just Google Gibbs SR while we're just chatting through there just to see what...
Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Unless they've been
better
bought.
than that, I'm going to go and ChatGPT.
There we are. Yeah, ask ChatGPT about Gibbs SR. Businesses back then weren't sure if TV ads would even work. Sound familiar?
Yeah, like talk about the internet. The internet, that'll never work. No one will ever buy it.
So fast forward to today, and businesses are still trying to figure out which marketing channels are actually worth it. Mm-hmm. So from a talking point perspective, it's suggested if TV was a new, unproven marketing tool in the 1950s, is TikTok or AI-driven marketing the modern equivalent?
Yes, it is, definitely. That's where the eyeballs are nowadays.
So Gibbs SR was the first product advertised on the UK TV in 1955, a toothpaste by, that's quite the word, Unilever containing sodium
So it was a Unilever brand.
Yeah.
Now think about how big Unilever are now.
Massive in consumables.
Yeah. So it was later rebranded as. This is the dyslexia coming out here.
Yeah. Go on, just give it a good go.
Mentenant SR before being phased out in the UK.
So basically, it was a product that launched. Owned by Unilever, and then they pivoted because the actual product itself wasn't strong enough in brand by the sound of it, and then they brought in replacement products since then.
Yeah,
but they must have made a bit of money because Unilever's still around today.
Yeah,
and it will have been. Biggest. I don't know. It'd be interesting to learn a bit more about Unilever because they're an incredible business, like multi-billion-pound enterprise. What's a marketing strategy that we were hesitant to try but ended up working? I've got one straight away at the top of my head. Is there anything that springs to mind for you?
Well, for us, in terms of online marketing, was like meta ads, like basically social ads. Because I was skeptical. I knew Google, everyone starts there. Generally, discovery, searching, they're there, higher buying intent. I thought, how the hell are we going to sell walking boots or changing robes on Instagram? How does that work? But proven wrong. It's a good channel for advertising for ourselves.
Well, for us, it's more recent. Like it's outside of the box, I think, for online retail. But then when you think about it, logically does make sense. So we've started doing direct mail.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which I was very sceptical.
Yeah.
I was like, how are you going to get people to go online when they receive them in the post? But it's all about marketing touch points, isn't it?
Yes.
It's all about like touching base with the consumer and at different points in their journey, and also are they becoming cold customers?
Are you going to re-engage them?
Yeah, you're trying to re-engage them and all the rest of it. So, I just must say the colour of your jacket today is popping nicely on the camera. I think.
Well, I got turned off from the fleeces after all the abuse I got, so I thought I'm gonna have to wear something slightly different. I
appreciate the contrast.
You like that? Nice. Is it good on the green?
I think we need to go for more versions of red jackets.
Of the red jackets.
You're only allowed to wear red from now on.
Yeah. Well, this is an Avenue 85 special, or was when we were buying.
Yeah. So going back to your origin story episode and stuff like that, that's something you've bought on clearance.
Yeah. Bought about 350 of these about 5 years ago.
There's quite a big story with you and Adidas, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
which we'll save for another.
Save for another future episode. Yeah,
because that's. I mean, just to summarise, you had a little bit of beef with them.
Yeah. For a period of time. Yeah. That's all been
huge brand,
massive brand, great products.
Don't deal with them anymore.
No.
But an interesting story to say.
Yeah, we can bring that one back up.
So if you want to know more about Tom and his beef with Adidas, or Adidas and their beef with Tom,
it's probably more that.
It was the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
you'll have to listen and look out for Tom's next episode, which we'll do in a few weeks' time. And I'm wearing Swan Dry today, which is a new brand that we've just started working with.
It's nice.
New Zealand. It's like an agri brand, so it's one of these things that comes quite far down, but it's wool. It's very
good quality products.
Yeah. I think outdoors it'd be great. I like it. It's got like a nice big collar to keep the. I mean, style-wise, I am a bit unique and different, but that's what I am. So,
Nothing wrong with that.
That's it. Yeah. I'll tell you what. This is the ADHD.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. 1 minute. Yeah.
HMRC. I saw something yesterday. Yeah. They are now incentivising people to snitch.
Really?
Yeah.
What, on one another? In terms of they've done this, they've not declared this cash or
really? Exactly. So if you can provide evidence to HMRC,
right? Well, you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's awful.
They've introduced it.
Yeah. Well, obviously, what's going to happen with that? More and more people are going to get thrown under the bus, rightly or wrongly.
Apparently, in the US, it's quite a big thing.
Right.
So, like, if you can provide. What are they called over there? What's HMRC called? Is it the IRS?
IRS, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so if you can provide the IRS with information on someone that's avoiding tax, and the evidence gets them caught, the IRS will, like, remunerate you for it.
Really? Good
like, compensate you for it.
Well...
So HMRC, I'm just like, oh my God.
We'll have people on the inside of every business now. Employees will be thinking, right,
I mean, I think it's interesting. Like ultimately, like we're obviously legit. We have to
we're way above board.
All of our business is digital, so there's just no way of escaping it. But it's interesting, like this cashless society, like builders and tradies, and like certain industries, and like maybe like Turkish barbers and people like that.
Well, they don't take cards. My two local barbershops do not take cards. It's cash only.
Chinese restaurants.
Yeah. They don't really. No, those two don't. So.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's interesting, like cash. Yeah, I mean, I think we should pay tax. Obviously, we need to support the country and the services. It's just the inefficiency of the system, which I've mentioned on previous episodes.
So
we won't reiterate ourselves, but it's a mess. Let's just say that. So the opening hook. Let us know in the comments what you think of the idea of having an opening hook, like a fact about the topic we're talking about. I think it makes a good talking point. So, getting into it, we're probably like 25 minutes in now, rambling away.
Now we need to talk about marketing.
How
to effectively.
Hopefully we can help people now, maybe.
Yeah.
So the harsh reality: why marketing is harder than ever. Why does marketing feel so expensive and oversaturated now? Certainly feels like that for us, like Google advertising.
Yeah.
Very
costs
expensive.
are going up and up and up. And I think they do. Like generally they go up every year anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was 2023 where Meta saw a reduction in ad costs in terms of what it would cost you per click.
Well, they saw a drop in their profits, so then they dropped the ad cost to incentivize people back onto the platform.
Advertise, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and recruit more customers and drive advertisers back to the platform.
Sorry, just coughing fit. I think as a channel, like obviously marketing channels for us, we're very pay-per-click driven.
Yeah.
Like there's other avenues that we can pursue, but the nature of the game that we're in,
it's all pay-per-click.
Like marketplaces, online retail, we're heavily having to pay for pay-per-click advertising. There's obviously we've just brought someone key into our business for retention, like remarketing to our main existing customers, try and grow those customer segments that are returning after the first purchase and what have you. But for like businesses outside of e-com, like I suspect marketing is just feeling more and more expensive. Like everything is.
Yes.
To be honest with you, like just costs are going up, and it's just because of inflation and everything else. But I mean, I'm trying to think now, like if you're a retail, or if you're a high street retailer, what kind of marketing do you do these days? It's
difficult for them. Generally, it's the location is their marketing, isn't it? Their location on a busy high street, getting the footfall. So their form of marketing is going to be the rent in it. It's going to be dictated. If you're paying a high rent, you're going to be in a prime location. You're going to get the footfall. But a lot of them do loyalty schemes, don't they? And at the till nowadays, when you're there buying something, they always ask for you, can we have your, do you want a digital receipt, sir? Can you give me your email address? Then they've got you on the database. Well,
the good ones are doing that.
I mean, some of the old sleepy giants don't, do they, I suppose?
The turnkey ones where they're just coming in, opening up, and then locking up. And
well, they won't survive going forward, will they? It's going to be
They're at different stage in business, I suppose, yeah. But I mean, if you're in physical retail, it's about, I suppose, capturing data.
Yeah.
Really. Like digitalising your marketing, digitalising your data.
Yeah.
I think marketing is data to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like if you can, we're hoping to open physical retail this year, and that's going to be a learning experience for us as a business. But like I was thinking about it, like we've got to systemize and have it so that when people are in store, that we're trying to get them onto digital, and vice versa. We want to get the clicks into bricks and the bricks into clicks.
Yeah, they'll go hand in hand for your business and your.
But if you're a small independent coffee shop, how do you market yourself these days? I think for me, it links back to service.
Yeah.
Like, and actually, like word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like quality of product.
Yes.
Like it's all those fundamental things in business that actually become your marketing.
Yeah. You got to have a unique proposition. Anyone can sell a cup of coffee, can't they?
Yeah.
And it comes down to the grade of the coffee, the level of service, how clean your establishment was.
Cleanliness is something that I think people just forget in relation. Like when you're thinking about your business, if you have the general public come in, like I can think of a location now where I go on a regular basis, and and I just
it's not Avenue 85, is it?
No. Stitching yourself up there. Yeah. No, I'm thinking like it's a service place thing. I go to it. I'm not going to give any more information than that, but it's just not as clean and tidy as it should be.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm there, I'm just like looking at the place. I'm like, why are you not cleaning the place up?
Yeah, you need to take more pride in it.
And it links back to marketing because it's like, right, your biggest marketeer in your business is your customer.
Yeah.
So you need to get your customer to become an ambassador of your business. And they're not going to do that unless it's like clean, it's fresh, the service is exceptional. And then that then links into the social side of it, of like social media.
Yeah.
Like we're in a digital space now. Like reviews, like people sharing your posts.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to share your posts unless they're excited about your business.
And they want to go there. Yeah.
I think like as well for like retailers, like physical retail and coffee shops and stuff like that, you have the potential now to like explode on socials and become a national business almost. Like look at these, there's like, what's it called? Is it Spudman?
Right. Well,
have you not seen Spudman?
No, I think you're going to talk about that So Sweet business.
I mean,
the sweet retailer.
Do you follow him on LinkedIn?
Yeah. And on some of the social channels, they're just on it.
I think he's down south, isn't he?
Yeah.
So sweet. Yeah, I'd love to meet him at some point or reach out to him. But yeah, he's scaled a great business there.
Just selling sweets.
Yeah, selling sweets, but digital marketing is like amazing. But going back to like the like, how do you, if you're a bricks-based business, how do you become digital in a digital marketing space? Like, how do you get that? How do you pop off? Well, you need to be on the socials big time, but you need to be doing like content, like visual video content. I think like the reels are a big part of it.
Yeah,
like that's something I'm learning about massively through the podcast at the moment because like I think on my Instagram I've got like a pathetic 220 followers.
Yeah, nice. But it's growing. It's growing.
Yeah, it has grown. Like in the last month there's been 100 extra. Like
there you go.
And like I'm not, obviously it's not about vanity and followers and subscribers. Like I think we'll end up with quite a nicheified, we're never going to have hundreds of thousands of followers on any platform, but we'll end up with like a really loyal following of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people watching the podcast and listening to it. But they'll be influential people that own businesses.
Yes, it's the right target audience.
But the reason I'm talking about it is because I'm thinking about how can I market myself, how can I grow my audience for the podcast, and I'm thinking about short form content.
Yeah.
And I think what I need to now do is I need to start producing content in addition to the podcast.
Yeah.
Ironically, I've done it the other way around.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will build a following and then like around their personal brand.
Yeah.
And then they will then bolt stuff on like a podcast, whereas we've gone straight to what I think is like one of the biggest things you can do, and then we're building it backwards. So I'm going to start doing, I think, like on the socials, marketing the podcast by doing like short form introductory reels, introducing the podcast episodes on a Monday with me chatting into the camera, like a bit of a kind of, I suppose, a synopsis on what's to come.
Yeah, good.
But if you're to link it back to marketing and physical retail or like small business, like where you've not got online presence, it comes down to then showcasing your product.
Yeah.
And I think people really like now that humans are naturally nosy. So if you can share about your business, like that kind of like a day in the lifestyle
behind
the scenes, people love it.
Yeah, they do.
Like we need to do that in our business at some point. I think that's something that we can definitely do. But I'm sure it's Spudman on Instagram.
Right, I'll have to check.
Is that right, Morgan? Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him, but I'm gonna have a
quick look on your phone now. But Spudman, but basically he's got like a camera. Right. I think he exploded on TikTok and then he's exploded on Instagram. But he basically just wears a camera on his chest or on his head.
Yeah.
And he just makes his spuds in his van.
Yeah.
And he's gone viral.
I have heard about him. I've heard about him. And like a load of like celebs are going to the Spud van to get there.
Yeah, like Starmer turned up to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm liking his branding as well. It's like,
he's good. But think about that as a small independent business. Yeah. Like how many people are selling jacket potatoes?
Yeah.
He's got 487,000 followers.
Good on him.
And he makes baked potatoes.
Because he's doing something outside of the box. He's thought, how can I sell my product to more people?
And there's another one. Type in Spud Brothers.
Right, are they at it as
well?
Have
a look at Spud Brothers as well.
Is there beef between Spudman and Spud Brothers?
I don't know if there's beef. I don't follow it that closely, but I'd be interested to know who was the original.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And there's another one on the socials who does like ice cream as well. So he's got an ice cream van.
Yeah.
And like he does these like ice cream trays.
And I've heard of him.
But people just love consuming that content. So if you're a coffee shop, and I'm sure there'll be the equivalent in coffee shops, the equivalent in like a pub setting and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
If you can like live stream your business and you can go uber digital. Now that might not be something that a lot of people are willing to do, but if you can share video content of your business, I think that's massive.
Yeah, and that's
huge untapped potential.
Way to get through to some customers, isn't it?
Yeah. So for me, like, we've kind of jumped straight into that, but the first point was about why is marketing harder than ever, and it's because the level of marketing that people are doing is very high level. People have leveled up with this now. It's very digital, it's very social oriented, and if you're not producing content marketing, your business is. If you're in a niche where you've got 4 or 5 competitors, say nationally, and you're not doing content marketing, but one of the 5 is, they're going to explode.
Yeah.
Same on the high street. If you're just on the high street and you want to tap into more than just the people walking up and down that high street, and you want to become a destination, we need to do content that's different.
Yeah, you need to
and
do
that's
more.
why it's harder, I think.
Yeah. And for the people that want to get into doing their own content marketing, they might not have the knowledge and the investment in it.
Yeah.
In terms of the monetary amount, let alone the time invested in it.
Well, that leads nicely into where should businesses actually spend their marketing budget. And ChatGPT is saying if you had 10k to spend on marketing today, where would you put it? I mean, for us, I don't think we answer the question from the perspective of our business because it's obvious.
Yes.
Well, actually, for us now, it would be into content marketing. It's something we're going to do. But for the average business, if you're a coffee shop, I think the best thing you can do is I actually think rather than spending it on marketing, if you're the entrepreneur and you've got 4 people in your business, bring in someone, hire another staff member, 10k roughly, you're buying yourself 4 months of minimum, maybe not 4 months, maybe like 5 months. Minimum wage employee coming in, doing the coffees, train them up, free yourself up, and then become the marketeer of the business.
Yeah.
Shoot video content yourself. Because I think you're better off to a certain degree doing it yourself. If you can learn in the early days how to shoot content and all the rest of it while you've got the time.
Yeah.
Like we're at the scale now where we can't afford to learn. I've not got the time to learn what Morgan does, which is why we've brought him on side to do this for us. But if you've got the time, I think spending the money in other areas to free yourself up to champion marketing in your business, I think that's a really good tactic.
Yeah.
Like basically look at what your hourly rate is and go, can I bring someone in to do this cheaper?
Yeah, for less than. Yeah.
Free yourself up to then spend your time on marketing your business.
Yeah.
You, as a business owner, your brain should be always like marketing first. You need to always be thinking about it, I think. Like Charlie from Workwear Innovation, he's hot on the socials, and I think he's getting a bit of momentum now with his business because he's a marketing brain.
Yeah.
But then the flip side of that is strengths and weaknesses. He's got areas of opportunities of him as an entrepreneur that he needs to focus on and develop. Same with me. I've got strengths and weaknesses. If anything, I'm the other way. Yeah. I'm not necessarily a natural marketer, so I need to surround myself. And for me, if I had 10k spare, I'd need to bring people in.
Yeah.
Or I need to buy resources to help support me.
Yeah. To learn the marketing.
To learn the marketing and do more. And I've definitely learned a lot over time. I mean, what would you add anything to that? Like, if you think about smaller business?
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's if they're doing no form of marketing currently, it's going to be the anxiety of, well, I'm going to put this £10,000, which is a lot of money, into something which is unknown to them. And the safest thing is to fall back on the old PPC, Google. Pay Google PPC ads to get any. I know you can do local ads, can't you, for a coffee shop? So you can target a vicinity of however many miles you want, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 miles. Same thing with social. Those are obviously going to be touch points, but you're right to focus in on the new battleground, which is content marketing and brand awareness. And like you're talking about before, the day in the life of or behind the scenes, whether you're a coffee shop or a florist or a bakery, or a fish and chip shop. All you want is more people to buy your product, so you need to get it in front of more eyeballs.
I think it's almost like I think paid, pay-per-click, it's our territory.
It's performance marketing.
But it's so complex.
And
it's so difficult to manage an agency or implement yourself.
Yes.
So actually you're better off focusing as a smaller business on things like more traditional marketing methods.
Yeah.
But then making them digital. So like kind of almost like trying to get that bricks into clicks. So collecting data, email addresses at checkout or at purchase, or incentivizing people when they come into the shop. Like if you scan this QR code and submit your email and show that you've submitted it, I'll give you 5% off or whatever, or you get a free, or you enter, maybe you scan the QR code for the chance of winning a giveaway, something like that, rather than giving it to every one of your customers. Just creative ideas like that to create some data. And then it's like, well, what about like events or things like that? So if you're a coffee shop, how can you collaborate with other businesses and like put things on in the evening to like make that space churn a little bit more? Like what marketing event, what kind of marketing collaborations can you do? And actually that £10,000 that ChatGPT's chucked out there, well, maybe it's £500. How can you be? How can you be creative with that £500 if you can allocate something? And I think there's so many. Like, ask ChatGPT.
Like,
I'm not being funny. Like,
it's free. Well, a certain portion of it's free.
ChatGPT is free to a certain degree. Like, tap into that AI. Put like what you've got to do with AI now is you've got to train it on what you are. So you give it a bit of context, scrape your About Us page off your website if you don't have one, tell it about your business, tell what sector you're in, and then ask it what creative ideas can you come up with. It's incredibly impressive what it chucks out at you. Like, it's scary to a certain degree.
I've started to utilise it, in the last couple of weeks since you sort of got me onto it. It's unbelievable.
It's scary.
I'm on the paid for version now because I've done so many prompts with it.
I think I'm paying like £40 a month or something.
It's
£30 a month. But then the next tier up on the personal one is £200 a month.
Right, wow.
Which is quite a big step. But if you think about it, right, if you're self-employed and what would it, so £200, if it made you 20% more effective, and you're remunerating yourself at £2,000 a month.
It's like, way worth it, isn't it?
It could be like, and I think that's
ROI is massive.
That's the thing that will change with AI. But leveraging AI for marketing, I think, could be huge.
I've got something to add there as well. Is that the like how effective ChatGPT is if you're dyslexic. It's just exponentially better.
I completely agree with that.
The work that I probably get because I don't make any spelling errors, or because I've got a more comprehensive message because I'm using AI, is exponential. If I'm writing a dyslexic message, it's like, hi. With AI, it's kind of like you can drop their like whole LinkedIn bio in there, and it's hey, I noticed this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other, and so like I would love to take this into account and that into account, and they're like, wow, this person's really listening, and it really allows you to also, it'll write a message, and I'll go, wow, that is really what I should have said.
And actually, like, you can so from a marketing perspective, you could go, right, this is my target audience. I'm a B2B based business. I'm trying to target, say, if we look at Raise the Bar, hospitality. So Lucy's business, like she could train ChatGPT, and I know she does use it actually, but she could have that conversation with ChatGPT about a target customer. And so like, this is the business, this is the name of the pub, this is what they do, this is how long they've been established, this is like the performance of the business, how do you think I should, this is the owner, this is I know this about the owner, I know he's a massive Man City fan or whatever it might be. How can I target, can you write me my first like cold email, or how you think I should gauge the conversation from a phone perspective? It is incredible.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's scary. But then like from a cold lead perspective on like LinkedIn and stuff like that, like Morgan's a bit more of an expert on it, but from time we might not go into detail on it, but you can do stuff like you could scrape, so he said there, scrape the LinkedIn bio. You could be like, right, I'm going to scrape 10 LinkedIn bios, because what you can do is you can create PDF documents now and upload them into ChatGPT.
Right.
So that's what I've done for the pod. As I've mentioned it on episode 5, but you get the transcript, save it as a copy and paste it into Word, save it as a PDF. So prepping for today, I uploaded 8 PDFs of all the previous episodes. I was like, this is what we've done so far. Need some ideas for the next 4 or 5 episodes. Yeah. What do you think? And it spits all this out. And then I spent about an hour and a half chatting to it, 2 hours chatting to it, and it just does all the work for me.
And I think that's the thing that I'm starting to realise is it's good, but it's only great if you do give it some of your time. And so like it's a bit like reaching out with a message. Like I was saying earlier, you could say hi, or you could give it a load of information to write a message, but the first message it gives you hasn't got very much of the information in it. You kind of have to go, right, can you make it a bit longer? And it gives you something a bit longer, and you go, well, can you cut that out because that's slightly irrelevant? And then you've got something nice. So if you are putting it through and just going with the first version, it's probably not giving you the best kind of output. But like you're saying, an hour and a half of chatting with it. I made a voiceover the other day, a voiceover script, and I was on it for 2 hours. However, it's the sort of voiceover script that I wouldn't have been capable of producing, either like getting the information for it, nor would I have written it in a way that would have been, had the same flow. But it did require 2 hours as well as the ChatGPT knowledge. And so that balance, if you get that balance right, which, I'm sure give it 3 months, we probably only have to spend an hour for where we're spending 2 hours with it. But it's always going to work better if you put a bit of your time in as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think leveraging AI for marketing, like having conversations with AI about your marketing strategy. If you've got a marketing document, paste it in and say, how can we improve this? Like there's so many things you can do. Like branding versus sales, which one actually matters more? Are brands built on ads, or is it deeper than that? So like that kind of concept there is like, do you focus on like acquiring more customers? It's 2 different marketing forms really. So you've got like acquisition on this is the product I'm selling, and then do you invest time in developing and growing the brand and the story? Yeah. And you've got to do both, obviously.
You need to hand in hand.
But actually I think like if you're a location based business, that brand and story is so important.
It's bigger than the product really, because the products are, like we talked about, coffee shop, the product is the coffee, but the brand is the outlet, isn't it? Whatever your coffee shop is called, whether you got 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them, whatever. And it's all around the perception of the brand of that cool coffee shop that Matt Holland owns, in the Northern Quarter. Why should we go there and buy his coffee over next door?
Yeah, I think the brand and story, because that's how the consumer connects.
Yeah.
So you need to weave your personal culture and personal brand into your brand and story, your business to a certain degree. Ultimately, you can shape it to what you want it to look like. But then that will help. You can then think about like, what does that story need to look like for you to attract your direct and target customer? So you can kind of like artificially customize it based upon that. Like you're almost like creating a mirror of like what the consumer wants to see, rather than designing something and then hoping that customers will turn up. You almost want to identify and understand who your target audience is and then build your brand around it. Like, so you kind of start off with who you target, and then you go, right, I'm going to build a brand to match that. Like, if you look at High Rocks and Represent as an example.
Yeah.
Like,
two very big brands now.
I mean, they didn't build that brand for High Rocks. It's coincidentally, but they've definitely adjusted the brand for High Rocks. So High Rocks, for anyone listening, is like a fitness. It's a bit like CrossFit, which people have
it's
heard
the new
of,
CrossFit,
but it's like popping off. Like people, I mean, I'd like to do one day, but I've got to lose a bit of weight and run some more miles on the treadmill.
I'll do it with you. We'll do it. You're doing it in a team, aren't you? So yeah. I'll do it. I'll give it a go.
Oh shit!
You know, it's
8K of running.
Well, I need to improve my invest some time in running.
Right. Well, listen, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
There we are.
Let's give ourselves a few months though of like.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like a few months.
Yeah.
There we are. But yeah, High Rocks, like they're smashing it on their brand. Is just, I think they've nailed it really. Future of marketing. What's next? Is AI automation a game changer or hype? We've just kind of covered off that, which is really interesting. Will email marketing take a comeback? Is traditional advertising, TV, print, radio dead, or does it still have value? So AI we've covered TikTok and short form, which is one of the questions, and I think that is the future massively.
Yeah, that's the new battleground, isn't it?
Yeah, we both of our businesses, we need to get on video.
Yeah.
We're not doing enough of it. But I think if you're a smaller business, like shooting video content, like what Charlie from Workwear Innovation's doing at the moment, like that is mega. Assets as well, like if you are a bigger business, like I think James from Nutraseed really impressed me the other day when I was chatting to him about how he built out the assets for his Meta marketing spend, like for Scoff Meals, which is one of his other businesses, because he's got two. So Scoff Meals, he bought that business earlier this year, and he's trying to scale it now.
Good man.
But when he took that over, they only had like 3 or 4 assets in the Meta library. So he's put like 100 odds in there. So he's given the machine the opportunity to test. So it's about testing, and you can do that on a smaller scale, obviously. But I think there's so much. I mean, we've just kind of like skimmed the surface. It's been a very ADHD episode, that I think. So apologies if you've not got ADHD, but I think most of our audience are on that spectrum for sure. I mean, final takeaways for listeners. I think marketing, it's not just about spending money. It's about being creative and managing your time. So I think if you want to become better at marketing your business, you need to invest the time into developing your own craft at that, getting better at it. And the only way you can you can't buy more time.
No.
But you can effectively do that to a certain degree, because what you can do is you can replace stuff that you're doing which is below your pay grade, so that you can spend more time on marketing. So I might, if I look at my job role at the moment, there's certain things I do where I'm like, why am I doing that?
Yeah, shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and
someone else can do that.
If you're a business owner, you need to look at that and go, I need to get someone else doing that, or I need to bring someone in. And if you can't, because you're in that, when we're talking about Tom's story, the grind phase of like going from 200k to £1 million turnover, you can't hire any more staff.
No.
Do more hours.
Yeah, just do more hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the way it works. We're not employees of other businesses. We don't work in the public sector. So you've got to put the food on your plate. You know, you need to put those 1,000, 10,000 hours in learning how to be a better marketer. Anyway, well, I think that's quite a good episode. If you've got any questions about marketing, I've mentioned this on a couple of other episodes, but I think what we'll do is we will revisit some of these topics, and we'll get knowledgeable people in on marketing. I think Andrew Mailer would be quite an interesting one.
He's worked in the marketing for years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Paid
and sales
SEO
as well. He'd be a good one from a sales perspective. But yeah, if you've got any questions, chuck us in the comments on YouTube, on Spotify. You can leave comments now. In fact, all of our episodes now, they're on video format on Spotify. So episode 5 was the first one that's video on Spotify.
Good.
So you can pop between the two. So when I'm working out in the gym, sometimes if I'm doing weights or whatever, I'll have a podcast playing on Spotify. I'll listen to the audio, but then in between sets, I can watch the video.
Have a quick look. Yeah,
it's quite a good
feature,
thing,
that, isn't it?
Whereas on YouTube, to do that, you have to be paying for the YouTube Premium, so that you can have the video playing in the background with your phone locked. Just an interesting thing. But yeah, just make sure you comment, subscribe, and all that kind of jazz. And if you've got any questions, message us. Make sure you try and follow me on Instagram if you're not already. So that my handle's Mr. Matt Holland. And Tom's Instagram handle. I mean, you're not really pushing that too heavily. You don't.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Are you gonna?
No, I think I've not utilised my own personal social media for years.
Yeah, you need
it's
to
just
get
been
on that.
silent and dormant. Whereas,
but you're on LinkedIn, aren't you?
Yeah,
so
LinkedIn.
People can follow you on LinkedIn, and if you've got any questions with Tom, drop him a message. Or if you're a brand and you want to work with Tom, then reach out to him, and then
we're always open to working with more and more brands. By all means,
if you're Adidas and you want to make friends with Tom,
don't forget, guys, drop comments as well. Like we're responding to comments constantly. And comments help the algorithm. So anywhere that you see a clip or the podcast, drop a comment. We're very active.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Okay, cool. Well, we'll wrap that up and we'll jump on to the next episode next week. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheerio.